Hello there! Come to have a word? I don't bite, I promise. Yes? Gladly, my friend, gladly, and how kind of you to ask. I am the youngest son of a noble house. Now, don't make that face. Poor, desperate fool, you must be thinking. Well, waste not your sympathies on me. Truly, I consider it a boon rather than a punishment. All the comfort and none of the responsibility. What's not to like about that? What else brings faraway travelers to the archipelago? Adventure! I've nursed a great love for heroic tales since my boyhood. As I was loafing about my father's estate, I thought, well, Gervard, isn't it time you made a name for yourself as well? So here I am, and though I dare say I'm little use in a fistfight, I can do a fair bit of magic and draw a lovely map, so I've taken to charting the interior wilderness of the Deadfire's larger islands. Ah, but it's worth it for the stories I'll one day have to tell. But truly, if I could only inspire others as I myself have been inspired by those old tales, why, it would be marvelous. Anyway, enough of my prattling. Surely you've other things to do. Gladly, I am the young... Truly, I consider it a boon, rather. What else brings far as I... So here I am. Ah, but true... Anyway... Oh, it would be my absolute pleasure. For a price, of course. 3,000 copper? Well, I'll be here if you...
thank you again. The Harapo epic is in the right hands at last.
I smell that Mataru Richling's perfume on you. You've got something I want. Give me the Cornet of Waves.
Why, surely you mean the ninny-pate which blundered the job!
I ain't failed just yet. Not when I got you cornered. Not without the Cornet of Waves. That can't be. Why else would Dario send us for it? Besides, you're here, aren't you? Then what would he want with it?
Boss, she thinks a lot straighter than you.
Fine, but I see you again and things will go differently, I promise.
Tella, a moment. I saw you speak to my dear amico Degnos, so I thought to myself, why, Talfor, you must meet her too. Degnos is an associate of mine. His success is important to me, as it impacts my own. That is good to hear. So rare it is that I am glad of a stranger's interference. Would you like an escort to Queensbereth, Tella? You never know what rough types may be about, and I would hate to see you waylaid. Were I a more fragile man, I might have found offense in your vulgar accusations. Ah, Aimika, the streets of Neketaka, they are too dangerous to travel without an escort. I insist my associates and I see you safely to your destination. It pains me to impose, but I must ensure Degnos has everything he needs for his next voyage. A gracious offer. We accept. Per Guano, let us be off.
Where is my seal? Postinago, did you take it again? You will feel the bite of the cat's tail if you have lost it, boy. Who would dare speak to me thus? Is this Nazanali a friend of yours, Degnos?
An acquaintance only, Casita. From the luminous bathhouse.
First you waste my servant's time, and now you have the gall to waste mine as well. Chaudhry! He is so incompetent, strangers must complete his errands for him. So I have gathered. Agrasima, Aimika. There are few with manners such as yours in this backwoods place. Tiveris! Degnos, you will explain this. And what is this, eh? Que?
Helia, grant me wings.
It is a pity you let him escape. He will be found. I will make it so. I did not think he had the stones. And now I will never know the extent of his sabotage. Trade routes, partners, cargo. Anyone may know them now. Merla! But you have saved my life. Agrasima, for your trouble. Your intervention has given me much work to do. Leave me to my tasks. Kores.
Eccosi, Tella. You have found the satchel. Diverus. Perfetto. This is magnificent. I am in your debt, Aimika, truly. Please, take this. You do not know what you have done for me. I will reward you properly someday. You will see. Cozy, I do not have the time to... I must help. Better with her inventory.
Our business is resolved.
I'd be glad to.
Where is my seal? You will feel the bite of the cat's tail if you have lost. Is this Nazan?
An acquaintance only.
First you waste my servant's time. Chaudhry! He is so incompetent, strangers must complete his errands for him. So I have Agrasima, Aimika. Viveris! Degnos, you will explain this. And what is this, eh? Que?
Helia, grant me wings.
It is a pity you let him escape. He will be found. I will make it so. I did not think he had the stones. And now I will never know the extent of his sabotage. But you have saved my life. Agrasima, for your trouble. Your intervention has given me much work to do. Leave me to my tasks. Kores.
Just a moment, please.
Our business is resolved.
Ado, Watcher. The Cantanichesi sent for me. It seems the Republics have need of me again, thanks to you. Do you have need of me? Good.
Farewell.
At your service, Watcher. Que? I would not have guessed I would find myself back with the Watcher of Katnua, much less at the Order of Akanta. I know that you did not intend for misfortune to befall me, and I appreciate what you said in Queen's Birth. Perhaps this time will go better for both of us. You only have to ask. After we parted ways, I returned to the Republics and reported to the Duke's bells. I failed to complete my mission and had no excuses. The Republics had lost a golden opportunity to trade with the Glanfathens, and the Dukes were furious. They exiled me from the Brotherhood, scoured the suns from my breastplate, put me on a ship to raid Ceres. Diverus, I was lucky to escape with my life. I worked as a guard. Caravans, ships, wealthy merchants. I did not discriminate. After my exile, both my purpose and my pride were gone. The years have taken me from the Eastern Reach to the Deadfire. Some would say it is fate that has brought us together again, Watcher. But you must already know what I think. It is just luck. Time will tell if it is good or ill. Good. I have no concerns, Watcher. Que? Menea was a good companion and a skilled warrior, but her imagination got the better of her. It appears to have gotten the better of you as well. Where I am assigned is of no concern to me, but I do think the Deadfire can be profitable for the Republics. If the Dukes need me here, I am glad to serve them. Whatever they are up to cannot be good for any of us. At their best, the gods are powerful children. At worst, they are little more than mad beasts taking out their anger on our world. I have little interest in distinguishing which type Eothas is.
What can I do?
Ah.
For all your doubt in the gods, how can you believe animancers are any more responsible?
The gods have never done right by me. Animancers have. Even a little responsibility is better than none at all.
You place too much faith in them. Given the same license, they'll be just as bad.
Farewell.
Like a moth to a flame.
Tell me. Could I have a moment of your time? I know someone who works in this tower. An animancer named Giacomo. I'd like to see him if we could. Agrasima. It should not take long. I have not seen him in many years, and I wanted to thank him.
You feeling all right, Pelagina? You sure you don't mean yell at him?
When I was a girl, he visited me in the academy. He was studying godlike. Studying what was in our souls that made us different from other Keith. He found something in me. Something that resonated like a chime when he held an instrument near me. He said it was like this for all godlike. Different chimes resonating for different types. Oh, Diverus? Have you had such a test as well? In any case, he told me it was what was causing my body to change. I begged him to remove it. He refused at first, saying it was impossible. When I told him I would kill myself if he didn't, he said he would try.
You really had done that? Or were you just saying it? Some Valians, that's just how they make their point.
I don't expect you to understand, but I was 12. My body was changing in many ways. Being the only girl, the only godlike girl at the academy, was unbearable. Agrasima. Giacomo was not able to remove the chime, but he was able to sever it. When it happened, I blacked out. I did not wake for 2 weeks. The Brotherhood ejected him from the academy for ruining their pet godlike. They assumed I would die. I did not. Over time, I lost most of my feathers. The shape of my nose changed. It was not enough to make me fully Galbandra, but it was enough to keep me from wanting to die. When I looked in a mirror, what I saw was not a godlike. Not something to be paraded around. It was me. Finally, me. Giacomo saved me. Without his help, I would be dead now. Thank you for understanding. If we can speak to him for a moment in the tower, I would be grateful.
You go in first!
So you defeated this ship-devouring beast all by yourself?
I'm telling you, you just have to aim for the eyes. I'll take rain over snow any day.
Supplies! Get your supplies here!
Consider, friend, the blessings of the priests are priceless, but so too is good sense. I have supplies here, so that daring travelers may live to honor the gods. Certainly.
Payment for heads. It could be no simpler, I say. Tell me, are you someone who walks the path that coin lays out before you? Then you deceive yourself. Transmuting actions into payment is the alchemy that orders our world. All things turn on the axis of a coin bond. I pay bounties so that death can bring order to life. Would you help me continue the cycle? The next time payment crosses our hands, let it be in the execution of a bond, a vow, a bounty. If you would forge a coin bond, I know of people on these islands who must die. Their fate is already decided. The coin wishes only to collect. Dugra the Ascetic is wanted for crimes against his monastic order. His people have made a coin bond for his death. The Orlan wanders the wilderness on the island of Crookspur, northwest of Nekataka. Speak freely, I say.
I'm listening.
Hello, Watcher. Fancy a look at this stock? Straight from the laboratory. Have a look.
Master Sestangaloy is down there, and the priests feed it fish.
Merla, it's so humid. Let's get someone to conjure up a breeze. Merla, burned. Well, that won't do it all.
You're early. I'm sorry, but we aren't ready to look into your condition yet. You can have a seat over there. Hope you don't mind heights or birch. You aren't one of our patients. Ah, Madiko, you that watcher. Sentere, I'm sorry. It's been a busy time here. You don't mind if I talk and work, do you? What can I do for you? Sure thing, Amika. Comes with the job, doesn't it? Oh, things are much different here. The Huana may not have the same passion for the field as the Republics, but we understand we're doing research, not sacrificing children to wolves or whatever it is the Deerwood believes. So, no riots. Fortunately, news out of the Deerwood doesn't mean much to this lot. Well, a few years in a deer will do that to you. Up to your armpits in jungle mud, insects, and snotty nobles. Probably would have been better off talking to the bugs. It took us a few months to adapt. A few bad shocks too before we finished proofing the machinery against rain. I like to think it lends it all a little drama, no? Besides, how better to honor Helia than with invention? For now, nay? No trouble if you think of anything else, Amika. Not the coziest place for it, is it? But the open air, the lightning specifically, is a boon. Lets our mages have a rest now and then. Good tests of the equipment, too. We're working on making it less delicate. Our junior researchers are still a little soft. Giacomo? Ak, I know him. He has a little laboratory for himself down in the gullet. His specialty is godlike. Claims he can detect them in the womb. Giacomo rents a room in Ecosi, the Hole, which is that grimy tavern down below. Why he seeks to bury himself, you will have to ask him yourself. Not many animancers down there, so he should be easy to find, if they haven't stolen all his equipment. Or at Ogori. What can I do for you? Glad you ask, Amika. Very glad. We are very excited about the work here, and we are always looking for volunteers. We've catalogued a number of interesting properties unique to Luminous Adra, but there are some very specific qualities we are investigating. Qualities that a watcher happens to be uniquely suited to exploring. You're just what we're missing. No. Well, yes, what isn't? But not exceptionally dangerous. Luminous Adra has special effects upon Keith. Even to the humblest, it offers some small improvements. Rejuvenation, vitality, the kind of thing you sell to people back home, eh? But what about those who have already harnessed their own essence? Consider the talented Cutpurse, for instance, who can cross a room by slipping briefly into another place. The word Luminous Adra holds enormous quantities of essence, the kind of energy we can't replicate or restore. And these formations have a kind of connection to each other across the in-between. I believe we can harness this connection and your natural abilities to transport a person across great distances in a moment. Oh, good. You've done some experimenting on your own. A curious mind is a happy mind, I say. Can't mope about ghosts all day. We've collected a number of illuminating readings, and our machines are ready to harness the Adra's essence. But for the moment, we are effectively blind when it comes to targeting the next pillar. Now, if someone were capable of sensing that essence in the in-between, even of manipulating it, someone like a watcher, for instance. Precisely right. We've had luck with shorter jumps, but those were as much spellcraft as science. The idea is for you to focus on the next connection point. The machine will use that new link between the Adra veins to create a tether, as well as provide the energy for you to jump effectively. What's really exciting is, so long as you are holding that connection open, your companions can jump alongside you.
Or they could hold things down here, make sure it's safe for you to come back.
The next pillar's due east of here, in the middle of a farm. It's not as tall as this one, but you shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Oh, and don't worry. We paid the farmers.
There was that fellow that jumped a little too far over the edge.
Stop scaring our assistant. We'll get everything ready for you.
Of course.
Hello. My apologies. I didn't see you there. I am fine. Is there some reason I shouldn't be? Which is not to say I do not appreciate your concern. I do. I, like the other scholars here, am engaged in the study of the soul sciences. Was there something you needed, or may I return to my studies? Indeed. I apologize if you find the sight of blood unsettling. Though from your appearance, I would expect you to be well acquainted with it. In any case, why are you here? Just a bit of culture I've picked up along the way. I admire their tailoring tradition immensely. It's much grander than clothing one finds in The White That Wins. I am, of course. A curious mind is an agile mind. Besides, the two practices are more alike than one might think. Both deal in the details in the warp and the weft. A delicate hand is required if one is to bend either to one's will. It is a mundane story. I sought out the ship with the longest oversea route departing from the Republics and booked passage. I had intended to perform a handful of experiments regarding the nature of souls that could only be done safely at sea. The sensitive kind. My experiments were successful, and the ship eventually reached its destination. The rest is inconsequential. If you insist. With the aid of a device of copper and Audra, I have uncoupled my soul from my body, freeing myself of Bareth's wheel. I belong only to myself now. You do? Perhaps you would be amenable to me traveling with you on something of a permanent basis? I have a vested interest in luminous Audra, but acquiring it here can be expensive. You have a ship of your own and are clearly well-traveled. I suspect I would encounter more luminous Audra with you than I would on the streets of Neketaka. Truly?
Whoa, you sure about that?
Thaklaut, traveler. I am grateful. I have all that I need. We may depart at your leisure.